frankly, is perhaps the most important issue facing our entire planet. What is the United States Congress doing to address what the scientific community says is the greatest crisis facing our planet? According to a study published in the journal Environmental Research Letters in May of last year, more than 97% of peer-reviewed scientific literature on climate supports the view that human activity is a primary cause of global warming. What disturbs me very much about this debate is the rejection of basic science. We can have differences of opinion on health care, on the funding of education, on whether or not we should have a jobs program, on many other issues. But what the United States Senate should not be about is rejecting basic science, and it saddens me very much that most of my colleagues in the Republican Party are doing just that. We don't hear great debates on the floor of the Senate regarding research in terms of cancer, in terms of heart disease, in terms of other scientific issues. But for whatever reasons, and I happen to believe those reasons have a lot to do with the power of the coal industry, of the oil industry, of the fossil fuel industry, we're suddenly seeing a great debate on an issue that the overwhelming majority of scientists agree on, and that is climate change is real. It is caused by human activity. First, we need to aggressively expand energy efficiency all over this country. In terms of older homes and buildings, we can save an enormous amount of fuel, cut carbon emissions, lower fuel bills, create jobs if we do that. Furthermore, we must move aggressively to such sustainable energies as wind, solar, biomass, geothermal, and other technologies, and we must invest in research and development to make those technologies even more efficient. In my view, it is a no-brainer to say that we must reject the proposed Keystone XL pipeline once and for all. We need to end tax breaks and subsidies for oil and coal companies, which amount to well over $10 billion a year. We should not be subsidizing those companies that are helping to destroy our planet. Finally, we need to price carbon through a carbon tax or some other approach so that the real cost of burning carbon are reflected in the price. And I'm very proud that Senator Barbara Boxer, chairperson of the Environmental Committee, and I introduced such legislation last year. Bottom line is, Mr. President, we are in a pivotal moment in history. This Congress has got to act. It has to act boldly. And when we do that, when we cut greenhouse gas emissions, when we transform our energy system, we can save many people money on their fuel bills. We can cut pollution in general. We can cut greenhouse gas emissions significantly, and we can create good-paying jobs all over this country. As a nation, we may disagree about this approach or that approach, but if we don't get our act together and recognize the severity of this crisis, start that debate, come up with ideas to solve it, the planet that we're going to leave our kids and our grandchildren will be much less habitable and much more dangerous than the planet we have today.